I can't stress enough how hard this project's been. Because if you think about it, you have to have the ability to pull so many different groups together and try to get going in the same directions. And these are groups that traditionally have not worked well together. We've got to remember Lake Allen Henry, Councilman Jim Gilbreth, drank the first glass of water, first glass of treated water, let me rephrase that. I've fallen in that lake and drank water before you did out of that lake. But he drank the first glass of treated water at the ribbon cutting almost a year ago. We've got to remember somebody had the idea in the early 1970s, about 1972. They had the vision and the courage to say, you know what, we need to work on our future water supply. It was over 40 years later that you drank that first glass of water. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for a lot of the thoughts and ideas that this committee's came up with for us to see actual infrastructure being done, buildings being built, things being transformed. But I will tell you that my children and grandchildren, I think, are going to owe this committee and this group a debt of gratitude.
And finally, another outgrowth of the Imagine Lubbock Together falls under arts and culture. And that is the creation of the Lubbock Entertainment and Performing Arts Association. Tim Collins is going to be up here in just a moment and talk with you about that, but I think the LEPAA, as it is known, is a great example of something where 2.5 years ago, Imagine Lubbock Together had some discussions with some folks, and we made the determination that in fact that is not exactly the role that ILT is best suited to address, but in fact there are some other people in the city who can address that area much better. And so out of all that came the formation of LEPAA, and I see that Kay is here and Holly, and thank you all both for being here today with that. So with that, I believe that Tim is going to come forward and tell us about LEPAA, and then I'll finish up with some closing remarks. Tim?
Thank you, Connie. I think we all owe Connie a great thanks, and thank you so much for all you've done. So let me ask you, have you ever stood in the middle of a railroad track? You know, between the rails where you can look out and see where those tracks come together. It was about 2 years ago this time. I felt like I was standing in those railroad tracks. I'd just been elected chairman of the Chamber of Commerce, and on one rail over here I had the Imagine Lubbock Together team. I've got Connie and David, and they're building boxcars and building up a head of steam, and they're going over here. And on this side of the track, I've got a feasibility study for a performing arts center. And with the help of Eddie and his great staff, I had my hands on the controls of this track. And we had the financial backing and assistance of the CH Foundation and the Helen Jones Foundation. And we had Garfield Traub, a national leader in development, who put together a team of experts from all over the country to help us conduct a needs assessment and feasibility study for a new performing arts center in Lubbock. This has been a long wish for our community. And so here we are together, and we're starting down the tracks. And our goal was to find out what the city needed, what the citizens wanted, and in our case, the viability of a project that we know had been on the wish list for 20 years in our community. Little did I know as I was standing there that there was a train coming. The Performing Arts Center had a head of steam long before I became involved in it, and it was barreling forward with or without me, and I feel fortunate to be able to be a part of that. Lubbock Entertainment and Performing Arts Association was formed. I can hardly believe that it's been 6 months since in this very room we presented the results of the study. The Garfield Traub information came together, and we were able to present that. You know, and it's a great challenge when you have the opportunity to take a dream and make it into a reality. And that's where we are right now. We've got a dream, and we're building a reality. And I'd like to introduce the people who are giving of their time and effort to make this happen, some of which are here today. Patty DeLeese, Mark Bass, Mariana Markham, Matt Bumstead, Leanne Dunbald, Dr. Don Harrigan, Alan McGinnis, Carla Moran, Kay Sanford, and Carrie Sessions. Now, we've also hired Rob Allison and Kathy Gilbert to help us. They do the heavy lifting for us every day. And as I said earlier, let me assure you that this train has left the station. We are in for a great ride, and we're building momentum every day. This project is going to happen, I promise you. It's going to happen. So to close, I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce and the Imagine Lubbock Together Committee for the tremendous work that they've done. This work reiterated that the citizens of Lubbock wanted economic growth for our community. They wanted a revival of our downtown. And most important to me, the citizens supported the idea that a first-class performing arts center could be a catalyst for all of these things to happen in the future. I'm very, very proud and honored to be a part of the process, and I'd ask that you ride along with us as we work together in the spirit of performance. Thank you very much. I think obviously our greatest progress is building an organization of cohesive people who can work together. This is a great challenge to take a dream and build a reality, and we're well on our way to getting that done. In terms of challenges, obviously fundraising is our biggest challenge. We stand today at $34 million. Our first target is 45. At $45 million, we get to start our design, and we get to exercise our option on the DPS property. And those two things come together, and that just builds momentum and helps us go forward from there. This has been a great wish for the community for a long time, and it's just so honoring to be a part of making this happen. We have the opportunity today to do something that bond committees haven't been able to do, city councils haven't been able to do, and a private citizen group is going to come together and make this happen, and we are moving forward. I think we're going to have the opportunity to have world-class entertainment in our community, and we're going to have the opportunity to be a catalyst for downtown redevelopment, and we're going to see some great things happen downtown, and we're going to be right there first in line to make it happen. What do I want to tell the community? I want the community to understand that this is private dollars, that this is the opportunity to build something like's never been seen in Lubbock, a world-class, state-of-the-art performance hall. And it's being done with private money, private effort, and it's going to be for all of our community. We'll have the opportunity for every citizen to enjoy our programming, whether you're involved in the ballet, whether you are involved in the theater, whether you are involved in just the music scene. We're going to have everything for you there. Every citizen will have the opportunity and have the desire to come here and see a performance. If my crystal ball is clear, I think by spring we're going to see that building come down. We're going to be ready to see the DPS facility come down. We're going to have design. We're going to have some art for you to see, some renderings of a building, and I think we see that by the middle of spring 2014.